Welcome to the Pew Pew Nation podcast. Pew Pew Nation's a group of unapologetically American patriots breaking the politically correct mold, and we just don't care. We're not afraid to dive headfirst into the most controversial topics, gun talk, and call out the woke culture along the way. We get to talk to some very cool people and hear incredible stories and get to share those with you. So lock and load and get ready for the Pew Pew Nation podcast.
Showtime! Woo! 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 Silent and profiling! Woo! Woo! Stop! We can't take anymore!
What's going on, everybody?
Yo,
Pew
yo.
Pew Nation not live. Damn
No,
it.
man.
I always do that.
Pew Pew Nation recorded.
Recorded something. We did like 140 episodes of Pew Pew Nation live. So it's like it's so like ingrained in my body now to just say Pew Pew Nation live. But it's not. This is the Pew Pew Nation podcast. This is new. Episode 4. Hopefully you guys enjoyed episode 3 with Alan Beal from Armed Forces Brewing Company. He gave us a great interview.
Absolutely.
That was awesome, honestly. Like, learned a lot, and
Yeah.
he's a good dude.
Very good. Very good.
So, we're going to talk about taxation is theft.
Absolutely.
Because it is, 100%.
Especially taxation of numbers of 1,000%.
1,000%.
1,000% tax. That kind of sounds to me like that's just a way to stop people from doing things.
Yeah, exactly. So what we're talking about, if you did not see it, is, and I'm trying to find the video here, there it is this.
A lawmaker plans to introduce legislation that might not need any Republican support to pass. Democratic Representative Don Beyer wants to introduce a bill that places a 1,000% tax on assault-style weapons. That tax would impact manufacturers, producers, and importers, but would exempt law enforcement and the military. Gun control legislation would require 60 votes to pass in the Senate, but a tax can be passed through budget reconciliation, needing just 50 votes.
So yeah, 1,000% tax on assault weapons. It hurts my soul to say that word, honestly. Assault weapon. So yeah, so that's what they're trying to do. That's what the Democrats are trying to do now. And they're trying to do it as a tax because they don't have to have as much, they don't really have to have
They say
the
50
Republican
votes is all they need?
50 instead of the 60,
Yeah.
because you don't need to have the
for a
Republicans there.
tax, and it's like, oh, for gosh sakes.
So 1,000% tax. This is actually the second time they've tried this too. And what they're doing, I mean, they're just taxing. They're trying to tax guns out of existence, is what they're doing. Because nobody's going to go buy a $5,000 AR.
But they're not affecting. But the only people that they are affecting, they're not affecting people with big money. People with big money, the people that are doing these bills, obviously the Democrats that are pushing these bills forward. It's never been Republicans. It's never been any other fringe group that's starting a group of whatever in politics. It's just it's the Democrats that are pushing these bills forward constantly.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just...
It's insane,
Yeah.
honestly. And that's what it is. It's the Democratic Party is I'm sorry, if you vote Democrat and you haven't seen the writing on the wall yet, I don't know what will make you. Like, them coming in and actually taking your property, maybe then you would open your eyes. I really don't know, because the Democratic Party is not the party for the people like they advertise themselves to be. Maybe at one point that used to be the case.
Not anymore, man.
But not anymore.
It's anything that I see that seems to disgust me, and it's not even just Democrats, it's politicians in general.
100%.
But like, let's just coat the whole thing. The whole politics. All of DC, the whole thing is a big cesspool of
It's the swamp.
swamp.
It's the swamp. When Trump said this that he's going to drain the swamp, I was like, I don't. What's he talking about? You know, and man, it's been exposed. That's for sure. The last 5-6 years here.
But
like,
you tax, but you do this tax. It doesn't affect the people with money. It doesn't affect people with a lot of money. They don't give a shit. They're gonna go spend their $20,000 on a gun. They don't care. It's gonna affect the people like me, you,
Yep.
everybody else. It's like, so now my $500 gun now costs $5,000.
And the thing is that who is this stopping? So AR-15s, assault weapons, let's call them for media's sake here,
Less than what?
1%.
Less than 1%.
Less than 1% of gun crimes in the United States are from AR-15s or assault weapons, as the media says. 1%, less than 1%. So you're going to put a tax, 1,000% tax, excise tax
but-
on.
So let me get this straight. They can just come in, Democrats can put in a tax on something they don't like and then get rid of it.
And not have to have a
So
full
let's
vote either.
do it the other way around. What if Republicans don't like something? They want to put a big tax on something. What if they want to put a tax on transgender surgery because they don't like the transgender surgery and make the transgender surgeries go from 20,000 to 200 million just because they don't like it?
Can they call that a dick tax?
It's a cut your dick off tax.
Your dick off tax.
I don't. Yes, I mean, but what I'm saying is,
See, it
if
depends
that's
on
but
which
that's
way it's going, though,
but that's
then, right?
all they're doing is you get 50 people, a bunch of dumbasses, writing law and then they pass it, and then all of a sudden now we're stuck paying this stupid shit.
Yeah.
No,
So on a dick tax, could it be a dick tax or a dickless tax?
add a
How would
dick
that how would that work
tax.
exactly? That's just how stupid this is, though. It really is. And the thing is that the people that you have to worry about committing crimes with an AR-15, they're not purchasing these guns legally anyway, so they're not going to pay $1,000 tax or 1,000% tax. I mean, and honestly, like I'm not paying 1,000% tax. So what do we do now? We go to start buying illegal guns and become criminals?
Criminals.
Like that's what they want to do is create criminals just in order for us to be able to have the rights.
Well, your magazine holds too many rounds.
Yep.
You're a criminal now.
A criminal.
It's like,
exactly.
fuck you, I'm not.
And that's what they're using to define assault weapons is a fixed magazine that holds 10 rounds or more, and it has a whole bunch of other features, and that's what they're using for this assault weapon stuff, the talk that they always do. So anything you own, pretty much. I mean, it's like it doesn't really specify rifles necessarily in the way that they say it. It could be rifles, it could be pistols. Who knows? What is it? So literally, it's just a way to grab guns and try to take guns and try to create the necessity for us Americans to rely on the government. That's what they want. They want us to rely on the government in any way, shape, or form that they can, because then they have full control of the people. The problem is that we, the people, don't have to conform. We don't have to do that. We don't have to listen.
Nope.
It's ridiculous. It really is. I mean, you're right, though. You could literally write a tax on anything then, right? If they don't need I didn't know that you didn't need like a full vote to create a tax.
I don't know either. I didn't know that. It's news to me today, but it's like, so let's just start taxing
whatever you want. I mean, whatever
Anything.
we don't like, right? I don't
don't
like
like
I
it.
don't like something, so I'm just as a Republican, I guess we can just tax it. It doesn't
tax
make
it
any
out
sense.
of existence.
If
You can put 1,000% tax on an item because what your reasoning, what's the reasoning behind there saying the tax? Because they don't want to put it into people's hands. They want to take it out of people's hands.
Yep, exactly.
I mean, that's the reasoning for this tax. If the tax was there because they had some reason for it or whatever, even then it's illegal and it's theft. But it's like there is no valid.
You know what happened? You know what happened last time somebody tried to tax people the way that they're taxing people in the
Yeah,
U.S.
we had a party.
we had a
You guys
party.
ready to party?
And
Because
then the Second Amendment was created.
Yeah,
Isn't that weird how that worked? That was literally
jeez.
created because we said a big fuck you to British.
I think
to
we're
Britain.
getting ready to have a party
think
because
so.
if they want to keep pushing this shit, that silent majority is only going to stay silent so long.
Yep.
It's going to be, it's so like they do. They take little tiny bits, little bites, and it's like you get bit and you kind of sit there and you're like, all right, but they're going to take a big bite, and that's what they need to do. It's almost like they need to do this, let it go, and then it's going to get people to get off their couches and say, all right, I've had enough of this shit. Honestly, like almost like they need to. It's to stop taking little bites, because that's what they've been doing forever. And it's like let them take a big bite, because maybe people will wake up. I guess I don't know, but or maybe it'll push.
Well,
us back
and I
further.
think I honestly think, and we've talked about this before, but I really think that that's kind of what you're seeing right now is, with the Bud Light stuff and Target and who else just did stupid things. There's a bunch of companies, but we've kind of seen that the silent majority has like, okay, we're done. Oh, Jason Aldean, the whole try that in a small town, like what? It's like we've kind of seen that this is all like coming a front here, and we're all seeing that like we're not alone.
No.
We're not alone. Like you kind of feel like you are, if you have the same mindset that we have. But we're not alone.
No.
We're all here. Like, so you try to impose 1,000% tax, there's going to be hell to pay. Like it's not going to.
Well,
end
you're not only messing with the people that are purchasing those guns. So let's just say wherever these manufacturers, like we just went on a tour and went and visited all these places that make all our gear. There's a lot of employees that are employed that rely on that. Now, these guns are now $20,000 a piece because of these taxes.
Yep.
How many do you think are going to be flying off the shelf at $20,000 a piece? What do you think is going to happen to the manufacturing process of those manufacturers? All their guns, they're going to be manufacturing them and being like, okay, none of these are moving. What are we going to do now? We're going to have to lobby something. We're going to have to go pay some lobbyists. We're going to have to pay somebody money to go into Washington. I mean, that's all it is. It's a bunch of lobbyists being paid. That's how Washington works.
And now you're laying off employees. All these companies are losing employees, and
American
you're not selling it.
American
you're not making money.
workers, not even just American workers. Not all guns are made in the U.S. So you mean you're going to be affecting? I would assume a lot of foreign gun manufacturers sales.
Oh, everybody
Right here.
Yeah, ammo companies,
everything.
I mean, there's just gun shops, all the gun shops around the country. Like, look at all these guys. I'm friends with a lot of people that own gun shops. 1,000%
Well, it
tax.
keeps track. That's what I mean.
Why would you carry the
I'm
gun?
still at the manufacturers. I haven't even worked my way out of that yet.
Yeah.
But I mean, then you go from there to everything. It affects the people that we know that own gun shops, and then now they have all these guns in inventory, and they're sitting there waiting to sell them, and the dust ball rolls across the front. It's like nobody's buying them because they don't have an extra $20,000 sitting around in their pocket to go purchase an AR that normally costs $500.
Yeah, exactly. Do you think I would get taxed for my arm?
Maybe.
I was just seeing it. I looked at it in the camera. I was like,
It is a lethal weapon,
It
right?
is. This is definitely an assault weapon.
Boom.
See? Boom.
Ah.
Yeah, it's crazy though. But the thing is like, it's not even like, okay, assault weapons. You call it assault weapons, like, okay, so they ban AR-15s, or they put 1,000% tax on AR-15s and AKs.
Which is an essentially ban. Like that's what I'm saying. It's basically a ban.
But what stops them from going further? So now you've created it. They're unobtainable at that point. A $500 gun's $5,000. You're not going to be able to buy one. Nobody's going to want to buy it. Even the wealthy don't want to spend that much money on a freaking gun, right?
Nope.
So unless if it's a really high end gun, obviously, but what stops them from going after the $500 pistols next? You know what I mean? So now you're taking away the ability for
Taxing ammo.
Yeah, you're taking away the ability for the working class American to be able to protect himself and his family.
each round now costs $20 a round.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's what I mean. If you want to start taxing ammo,
And
then if you don't want to tax a gun, then start taxing powder or reloading. Then they're going to start targeting reloaders. You know what I mean? That's fuck them.
Exactly.
I don't even know what else to say other than that. Like, keep your hands out of that shit.
Yeah.
And the only thing that's stopping us from looking like Australia and New Zealand and everywhere else in this world that's getting forced into compliance, basically, is what they're being forced into.
Yep.
If you look what's going on, if you don't know what's going on over there, look into it. It's a whole nother story.
No, it's crazy. So yeah, so that's what they're trying to do now. That's how they're trying to go after our guns is 1,000% tax on guns.
I don't want to, like, it's ridiculous, but I almost want to, like I said, it's one of those things, like, if it does happen, it's gonna tip the scale over where people are gonna be pissed, and it's gonna let them, like, the people that are pissed now that are just kind of sitting back and watching it, I think maybe it'll at least get them up and start waving their pitchforks and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, do something that's gonna make people wave their pitchforks and start getting pissed off instead of sitting on their couch eating their Cheetos and typing on their computer, keyboard warrior style. You know, like, get up and go do something.
So this one, I was just reading this. This came through yesterday, actually. I didn't even see this, but the pistol brace stuff. So everybody keeps talking about the pistol braces too, and again, them giving you thanks so much, government, for giving me a free $200 tax stamp to register my gun, so that you know exactly what I have, where I have it, what I have. That's all that was. That's all the pistol brace thing was. So, like, personally, screw them. I didn't register shit. I ain't registering anything unless if I was trying to make it an SBR already. Because I really don't care, because the pistol brace thing isn't going to last anyway. And then here, this just came through. The Biden administration's efforts to regulate pistol braces was dealt a blow Tuesday after a ruling by a federal appeals court cast doubt on its constitutionality. That's a hard word to say.
You know, and the funny thing is, reading this, and anything that comes out of Washington anymore, it's all just smoke and mirrors.
Oh yeah,
it's like, even this, like, I don't even know what to believe anymore. That's it. You're like, who to believe, who to trust. Like, they say, like, you got a list of people like in your head. Who do you trust on TV?
Yeah,
from Washington, that's sitting there talking. Do you trust Jim Jordan? Do you trust,
I don't think I trust any of them.
I honestly,
I can't really think of somebody that's like a lawmaker, I guess. You know what I mean?
No, and if you see, like, look at DeSantis. There was a point in time where I was like, man, that guy's good shit.
Yeah.
And then, like, now, like, there's just things that have come out. He seems like he's a World Economic Forum groupie.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden his numbers tank. And now I saw today on the news, I think in the last week, he's changed his staff like 3 times. He just hired some guy that's never run a campaign, and he's got that guy on there now. It's like shit's falling apart for him. But
yeah, they're a mess.
I don't trust any of them.
I don't trust any of them. I really don't. Honestly, I don't trust any of them. Like,
United States Incorporated.
It really is.
I mean,
well, you look at, I read a thing about Pelosi the other day. Nancy Pelosi is worth like $140 million on a $120,000 a year salary.
Insider trading, bitches.
How? It's impossible. Like,
no, it's not. It's completely possible. You write laws for the companies within your district that will benefit them, and they pay you off. And then guess what? You get lots of money, and it's funny because, like, it's really that easy. That's all she's done.
Yeah,
like, she's got companies and within her district that want shit. They offer her money, she takes the money, and they get the stuff that they need.
Yep.
That's it. That's how she got her money. And on top of that, well, there's other ways too, because she did stuff within like Wall Street crap, going in there and doing that kind of crap or that kind of shit. But like, just
it's insane though. Like, you look at that and you're like, how does nobody question this? Like, this bitch is worth $140 million. She's never done anything her whole life except for
steal money
from you and I. Like, taxpayer dollars. That's what she does.
Stealing her money, man.
She makes $120,000 a year as Speaker of the House, and she's worth $140 million. And how long has she been in office? 40-something years, right? Like
400.
462.
400
Yeah,
something.
she might be a hologram at this
Could be.
point.
She might just, yeah,
That's why her husband's hiring male prostitutes to come in to.
whack him in the head with a hammer. That's a whole nother freaking thing. Like, you know, it's funny. It popped up in my, like, a video popped up the other day of that dude. I don't remember his name, standing there with the hammer, and whatever his name is, Pelosi, standing there with his whiskey, smiling like it's just, hey, dickheads, what are you doing here? That whole situation.
It's so weird.
We don't know 90% of what happened on that call.
No.
And what was going on, and I mean. If you get a video of me, if you get a video of me and come to my door and me standing there in my underwear, drinking whiskey, and getting whacked in the head with a hammer,
all smiling, you're all
smiling and happy. I guess if you guys come to me with questions, I guess I could see why. Because like none of that shit makes sense. None of it.
You think that they arrested that dude with the hammer and they took his toxicology report? Does it show semen on there?
It might. I mean, I think my own theory is that dude was with him when he got arrested up in Napa for drunk driving.
Yeah, could be.
And he was probably doing something to him in the car. That's what caused him to crash. Maybe
most likely. I don't doubt that one.
Playing a one-man skiing game.
How the fuck did
something.
we get on this? We were going to talk
about Pelosi.
Guns.
We were talking about the fact that we can't trust any politician, and how the hell does Pelosi make all this money? And then that's because we can't trust any of them. Because you can't trust any of the laws that are even being pushed forward on the Republican side or Democrat side, because none of the Republicans have done anything other than blow smoke up your ass and tell you that they're going to do something when they get into office. And even when they have the opportunity to do it, they all sit back and act like, oh, we're trying. Yeah, we're gonna do this. And then they don't do it. And then the next time they come around, it's another time for campaigning. Let's tell them we're going to do all this shit. Yep. And like you literally look at them and say, Biden's in his basement. He's not campaigning at all. And when he does campaign, there's 5 people show up. It's like, fuck, I can't trust any of them.
Nope, you can't. It's insane. So, since we got off on a tangent, the only thing I really wanted to say was that the 5th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals in New Orleans was the court that said on Tuesday that the administration's ruling required registration for the braces was unlikely to survive the legal challenges that it's facing. And that's not the first court that said that. Now, that's just a circuit court in New Orleans. Obviously, they don't have any say on what really is going on. But all these courts are going to start coming together on this stuff, and this is not going to last. Like, it is not going to last. And then there's going to be crazy lawsuits because all these people had to register their shit as SBRs. It's going to be a mess. It's going to be an absolute disaster. And it is a disaster. It's, again, taxation is theft. That's all this is.
There's only one way. There's only one way to solve this. Get all those stupid asses out of there. I mean, and the thing is, like, you sit there and say, okay, vote them out. Did you see that article that came in last night about Michigan and all the fraud that's coming out, which we already all knew about? We all knew it was there. We all knew they dumped in 300,000 votes in a van at the Renaissance Center at 3 a.m. We watched it on video. We've all seen it, but of course it's fake news. Yeah. But now it's coming out on more other venues are talking about all that cheating and shit. So
that's crazy. Yeah, you can't vote. I mean, they start doing
we didn't vote for Biden. Biden didn't win Michigan. I'll tell you what.
Voted for Biden.
Tudor probably blew the doors off of Bitchmer. Yep. I can guarantee you that woman didn't win again, especially after her first tenure in there. And then people say people from Michigan are stupid because they're voting these people in. It's like, no, actually, we're stupid because we're letting them cheat, and we're just letting them get away with it. And that's the thing. It's because they're cheating. Look at what's his name, James.
Oh, yeah.
John James.
John James.
I mean, he was beating the pants off of Pete, whatever his name is.
And you literally can look at the graph, and it's like John James, and then all of a sudden, whatever the guy's name is, it's down here, and it's a straight line up.
Peters.
Wow, we put in 10 million votes overnight. It's amazing. And they're like, oh, it's because the mail-in ballots showed up at that time.
Okay.
What?
But now, the article I was reading, they were showing that all of the ballots were like being fed through the machines multiple times. And they were all mail-in ballots. Yeah. But they were all in sequential order. Yeah. Which is mathematically impossible for everybody who received a ballot to send number one to be like, ooh, I would send it back, and it receives back into place. There's number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they all come in that way. Amazingly, they were all in so all that shit's coming out. So no, we didn't vote for that shit. We don't vote for any of this crap.
I honestly think that the mail-in ballot thing has gotten completely out of hand, and it's on purpose. It's designed that way.
Well, it was all on
because like I get that we all have the right to vote in the United States. I get that. I'm not challenging that by any means, but if you can't make it to the polls, there better be like, you have to have like some major situations going on where like you can't make it, you're
Not
traveling out of the country on that day and you have to mail it in. Like,
I personally received 2 mail-in.
I did too.
And it's like, what the fuck?
And I don't.
And it's like, come on. Like,
and I know people that that just mail in their ballots just because, and it's like, that's bullshit. Like, you need to go to the polls and actually vote.
And if you honestly think they can't keep track of that shit, like Arizona and all these other states saying, oh, it's going to be 2 weeks before we can count all this shit. Dude, they can have a mega ball or whatever lotto countrywide, not even just a state.
Yep.
And within 2 seconds of them drawing that number, and they see the ticket number on there, they know who won and who didn't.
Yep.
And they have
Well, it
all
was
the statistics.
Arizona last in the last election. You sat there and watched Arizona. They were like 48% vote in, and it was like super. I mean, it was like right there, close. They're like, "Oh, we're calling Arizona," and then all the media outlets at the same time were like, "Oh, we can't call Arizona because we didn't put the right graphic on the screen yet, and we messed up." You could see them all like backpedaling, like, "Oh God, what do? We accidentally called the state that's supposed to be called, but it's not there yet, and we can't."
Who do you think has a lot of influence on Arizona? I think the cartel's got a lot of influence down there. I think they're running. I think they're running the entire southern border right now by paying off everybody in D.C. That's why it's open. It's the only reason it's open is because somebody's making money.
There was an article I was reading yesterday about the cartel literally operating at the border.
Yeah,
like 100%, because the Biden administration doesn't allow the Border Patrol to do anything anymore. So they're just coming over the border with guns, and there's secure or trail cams that the Border Patrol put out that the video or the photos have been leaked yesterday. And there's these guys coming over with backpacks full of cocaine and whatever else, and they got freaking ARs and whatever in their hands. They're coming they're all just walking right over, no big deal, right through the brush. Can't do anything about it.
Welcome to America.
Yeah, that's all the Border Patrol can do is hold up a sign. Welcome. Please go back.
Please don't.
Please go back. We're gonna tax everybody else 1,000% tax so that you can live here, but go back for us.
And no vaccines required, by the way. Just come on in. But if you want to work in Subway, you better go get vaccinated.
Yep, exactly.
Stupid.
It's crazy.
Crazy
Speaking of crooked politicians.
Oh gosh, which
So
one is this?
this is the Biden moments.
Oh.
We're gonna do this. We talked about this in like episode 1 or 2, and we're gonna do Biden moments, and we haven't done one yet. So I have one.
Is this?
And it's. Did you know that there's actually 9 wonders of the world?
It's funny because I did not know that, but I understand there to be 7. But I honestly couldn't name them all. And I think one of them is called Chichen Itza.
Chichen Itza. It is Chichen Itza.
Chichen Itza, which is a pyramid in Mexico.
It might be where KFC came from.
Might have been.
Not sure.
Eat your chicken.
But Biden added 2 more. We don't know what the 8th one is.
I think it's we already know the one is.
Well, wasn't the 8th wonder of the world China?
No, he
The
might
wrestler?
have. He might have. But
Wasn't she supposed to be the 8th wonder of the world?
I thought you meant like a country. But then I'm like, well, the wall is. I think
used to watch
considered
wrestling.
The
when I was
wall.
a kid.
I know.
And
that-
China, the wrestler, she was
Yes.
a monster, and she was the
China
8th
was
wonder
a
of the
man.
world. That's her. That was her thing.
But anyway, he added 2 extra. Well, actually, the one we know he added because he already added the Grand Canyon.
Oh, he did?
Well, he said he's at.
Here it is.
Hyperbole suggests that there is no national treasure, none that is grander than the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon, one of the Earth's 9 wonders of the world. Literally, think of that. It's amazing. Enduring symbol of America to the entire world. The first time I saw the Grand Canyon, years ago, I was a young senator, as I stood there and looked out, a phrase came to mind. It was instinctive. I said, this is God's cathedral. That's what it reminded me of. It just is so magnificent. As a matter of fact, I said 9. It's one of the 7 wonders of the world.
Somebody's talking in his ear there. And I look at this, like, I wish that Secret Service guy was just like, whoops, I pushed him. Don't jump.
That's kind of funny. Because if you look at this, I went on to Google just to search. Because like I said, I have no idea what the freaking 7 wonders are. I could sit here and laugh all day long, but I don't know. You could say there's.
I knew it was the Great Wall, the pyramids.
It says right here, the list of the 7, actually 8 wonders of the world includes the following marvels. It says the Great Pyramid, the Great Wall, Petra, which is in Jordan, Christ the Redeemer statue in Brazil, Machu Picchu, Chichen Itza in Mexico, the Colosseum, and Taj Mahal.
Those were the 3 I knew. Was the Taj Mahal, the pyramids, and
so now you know. Like if you didn't know that before today,
now you know.
That's what it says on Google.
And
Google
number
is
9
right.
is the Grand Canyon.
Apparently. So
The guy is such a mess.
I don't know.
Oh, it's
Whatever.
amazing.
You know what? He's probably right, and he's laughing at us right now because we've been wrong. Because Google lied to us this whole time, and it's really we're 9 wonders in the world, but Google's always been telling us there's only 7.
Yeah, it could be 2.
That's probably what the
That
case
could be.
is.
Easily could be that.
So he's right. We're wrong.
Oh man, it's amazing.
But that's what the news would lead you to.
The news would. They'd be like, "Oh, no, Biden wasn't wrong. He actually, there's 9 wonders of the world."
Let's go back to Wikipedia and correct it now.
Yep, we just forgot that we haven't taught that yet.
Oh,
That's nuts. It's insane. Anyway, all right, let's talk about these giveaways. We've been talking about giveaways since episode 1.
and we still haven't figured it out, but
We got it figured out, sort of. Now.
We do
We do
enough
have
to
it
get
sort of
enough to
figured
get rolling
Yeah.
on it and get started. But like with giveaways, there's legalities, so we just got to make sure that we dot our I's and cross our T's.
Yes. So what we're doing is we're going to do a giveaway. It's going to be a monthly Pew Pew Nation podcast giveaway. And what we're giving away is a mystery freedom pack every time. And that's what we're calling it, is the freedom pack. And it could be ammo, it might be knives, it might be shirts, hats.
Put it this way: if it's cool,
If it's cool,
it could be in there.
And it would piss off a politician, it's probably going to be in there. So that's what's going to be in the freedom packs. They'll all have a value of probably about $100 to $200, somewhere in that range, depending on the month or whatever. So what we're doing is you're going to go to pewpewnationusa.com is our website, and there'll be a giveaway section on the website. Click on the giveaway section, and there's going to be a million different ways to enter the giveaway every month. Each month, that's going to reset, and there'll be a new freedom pack that's given away. So what is going to happen is at the end of each month, we are going to give the freedom pack away and talk about it. We'll have it here with us and show you guys. We're going to give it away using the Freedom Wheel that we used to use to give stuff away on Pew Pew Nation Live. So it's pretty cool. All the names will be in there. We shuffle it up a bunch of times, and you guys will be able to see everything happen on the screen during Pew Pew Nation podcast. And we hit start, and that wheel spins, and wherever it lands is the person that wins that freedom pack. So it's going to be pretty cool. So this one, because we're kind of like, we just started it, we're already kind of halfway through the month. It's already the 9th that we're recording this. It's going to air on the 16th. So it's kind of halfway through the month already. But what we're going to do is we're going to do this one in September. So the cutoff date, you can start from the time this airs entering, and the cutoff date is going to be September 20th. And that'll be on episode 9. We're going to start a new giveaway on the 20th. On the 27th, we will actually give away the Freedom Pack. So you'll learn who won from the previous month. So episode 10 on September 27th will be our first Freedom Pack giveaway winner, if that makes sense.
Makes sense because you have to do it a week.
You gotta because we're recording and we're trying to record a week early,
live,
and
so you'll
hopefully
find out a week.
blah.
You'll find out a week after.
Yeah, you'll find out a week after. So Yeah, so what you guys are going to do is you're going to go to pewpewnationusa.com. You hit the giveaway tab at the top of the screen, and there's going to be a ton of different ways to enter. You got to visit our Facebook page. You got to share stuff. You got to do all that kind of stuff. There might be some bonus entry opportunities through freedomfatigues.com as well. We're not 100% sure.
We're working on, like, if you purchase, like, if you go on freedomfatigues.com and purchase a shirt, as well as the entries on Facebook, Instagram, and wherever else, that would get you extra entries, like
10
like
entries
10,
or whatever.
10 times or whatever, multiple
Yeah.
entries by purchasing it. It bumps your ability to win up quite a bit by making a purchase.
Yeah.
So
you got to watch. You have to watch the Pew Pew Nation podcast every episode to get the opportunity to get discount codes, things like that. These secret codes are going to come out throughout the podcast to go over to freedomfatigues.com, and it might give you a free shirt. It might give you 50% off. It might give you 25% off. It might give you free shipping. Who knows? Whatever it might be.
you to just send us money. Just send us money. Wait, no, I'm just kidding. It wouldn't do that, but
Are you Pelosi now?
no. But if I was, I'd be like, send it.
Just send it over.
Send it all.
So there's going to be a couple different ways that this is going to work, but for the most part, you're going to be able to enter for free, no problem at all, by just going over to pewpewnationusa.com and entering into the giveaway. However you want to do it, you can just enter once by just entering your email address and signing up for the giveaway. You can enter up to probably 10, 15, 20 times a week. And then you can keep coming back. You can keep coming back and entering more throughout the thing. So, you might have a max of 50 entries. Who knows what it is? And then with the secret code stuff, you might have 100 entries.
Your truck is really...
That thing is like, it's reflecting right on you now.
So if you guys are wondering why
I'll help you, Chris.
we have a light on in front of us, and then on top of that, Andy's car is parked out in the parking lot. The front windshield's facing us, and it is...
It's like the sun just moved to the perfect spot because I can see it on your face in here.
I can't, like, I'm going to have to
just keep your head down. Put your sunglasses on. There you go.
That actually
Blues
works.
Brothers style.
Start putting the cool.
All right, so that's going to be the giveaways. So we've kind of figured it out. Again, go to pewpewnationusa.com, hit the giveaway tab, and enter as many times however you want to do it. There's a bunch of different options on there. You guys have all probably entered giveaways like that through different companies or whatever. And again, that's going to be for a Freedom Pack, which could be ammo, it could be shirts, it could be hats, it could be all of those combined, knives, guns. I don't know.
Absolutely.
We'll see what we throw in there.
Those are more involved, and then, but we're getting there. We got to figure out the legalities, I guess you could call it. And
Yep.
go from there.
So make sure you guys check that out and, share these with all your friends and all that good stuff, because that could end up getting you extra entries too. Who knows?
Absolutely.
We'll see what happens. So, yeah,
All right.
we finally got it figured out.
Sort of.
It only took us 4 weeks, and
an hour
we still
before
don't,
we even turned this camera on here, sitting here
yeah,
talking.
and we
like,
still don't really have it figured.
no, but we've got it.
We
we got it enough to tell you guys what we were thinking, because we were sitting here going, like, the wheels were spinning for an hour, I think, before we even started the camera.
Yep.
We were sitting here kind of trying to figure out what we could do. We called Ryan, asked Ryan. Ryan, the voice of reason, said, hey, think about this, think about that. We're like, oh, I didn't think about this. I didn't think about that. So, but yeah, I think we've got it figured out enough.
Yep. So pewpewnationusa.com, hit the giveaway tab, and you guys will be entered to win some shit. And that is, again, it's going to end on the 20th is when that entry thing closes, and the
So
27th we will give it away. No, I got it
No,
set.
we're
I
not.
already have it set to close
No,
on the
it's
20th.
set. It's
so.
closing. So it's done.
Yep. Your last day to enter is the 20th at midnight. Dude, that gun's filthy.
I beat the piss out of it.
Yeah, what the hell did you do to that thing?
I wear it.
So we're going to talk, we always do a gun of the week.
I wear it every day. That's what I do to it.
We always talk about a gun of the week. And this week we decided I would show you guys something like really cool. Like, oh man, you guys haven't seen this gun before, because I get some pretty cool stuff in. Like last week we talked about the Pit Viper.
Mm-hmm. That was badass.
Or not last week, 2 weeks ago, because last week was Alan.
Oh, that's right.
But the Pit Viper was really cool from John Wick 4. And this week we decided that I get the question a lot on Facebook and Instagram. People message me all the time, and they're like, what gun do you carry? what gun should I carry? And it's funny because I've talked about this before. I've written articles about this, all kinds of stuff. I won't ever answer the question of what gun should I buy, what gun should I carry, because every single person is different. So what works for me might not work for Chris. What works for Chris might not work for me. Everybody is different. So it's, as a firearms instructor, it's a question that's legitimately impossible for me to answer. And I actually get people that get mad at me. It's hilarious. Like they like legitimately are like, why won't you just tell me what to order, what to buy, tell me what to get? And I'm like, I can't just tell you what to get, because a lot of people, I always use the Glock example. Everybody, a lot of people, not everybody, are Glock guys. They love Glocks, right? Well, if you ask a lot of people, why do you love Glocks so much? And it's marketing is what it is. I mean, you hear Glock referred to, it's like the Kleenex of the gun world. Like Kleenex is a brand,
Yep.
but a lot of people call tissue Kleenex. So it's the same idea. Like I know people that have literally referred to a gun as a Glock. They didn't know that it was something else.
Dude, I got my Glock, man.
Yeah, I bought a new Glock.
Yeah.
Well, what Glock did you get? P365.
My piece.
Well, that's not a Glock.
I got my piece.
Yeah. And then that's the thing too. Like you hear it in every rap song. You know, these guys are throwing bullets down range and stuff. You know, and
Locking it up.
Yeah. So I personally don't like Glock, but a lot of people love Glocks.
I have a
like,
Glock, but it's only because it was my first gun I ever purchased for the academy.
Yeah. Which makes sense
Yeah.
because you're going to be carrying a Glock.
Then I went to an department that carried SIGs. So hey.
Yeah. So you switched.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I have, what do I have? 3 Glocks. None of them are stock Glocks, though. I had to modify them because I don't like Glocks as a stock gun. I had to make it my own. And that's the point here is that, like, nobody can really tell you what you should carry and what you need to carry. And anybody that does tell you that, I wouldn't listen to the recommendation.
No,
because they honestly have no freaking clue. Because if they're going to tell you that, it's probably the only gun they've ever shot, the only gun they've ever carried, the only gun they probably own, and they have to justify the purchase that it's the best just because they were told that it's the best and they bought the gun, which is fine, and it might be the best for them. Honestly, I've had people come through my classes with high points. Like I don't call any guns junk necessarily. There's one gun in the whole world that I've ever called a piece of junk. And that was the S333 Thunderstruck from, is it Standard? I can't remember. It's a revolver. I'll bring it. I have it still. I'll show you guys next episode.
Got a rope tied to it because he uses it as an anchor when he goes fishing.
It is a legit piece of shit. It's got this double trigger thing, and it shoots 2 rounds of 22 Magnum at the same time. It is a piece of shit. But like high points, a lot of people will be like, high points, they're garbage. I've had a handful of high points, probably a dozen high points come through my classes over the years. And honestly, I can't remember a malfunction from one. So like,
how much garbage are they, right?
Personally, I'm not carrying one. I own a high point. I do. I got it for free. But I don't turn down free guns. Like, but I'm going to do something stupid with it. I'm going to send it to Odin's workshop and just have him put like an RMR on the side, like mounted sideways so I can throw bullets, and have a sight still. Go. I don't know, something stupid. But anyway, so I don't really call guns junk, but a lot of people wouldn't carry a high point. But if all you could afford at the time was $100 to spend on a gun, and that gun functions and it could protect you and help save your life, who am I to say that's wrong? You know what I mean? The same with that S333. I mean, that thing's a piece of shit. I'll say that. Like, I hate that gun with a passion, but if that gun works for somebody,
hey,
cool,
right?
Good for you, because at least you feel comfortable and you have some protection, whether it be home protection, out in the world protection, whatever it is. So we wanted, though, today to show you guys what we carry.
Yeah. This
is our daily carry. Mine changes quite often because I get paid to test guns. So whenever I get a new gun that's a possible option for carry, I usually will order some holsters for it, and I'll test that gun out carrying it to see how comfortable it is, the reliability of it after it's been in my pocket with lint all over it, all that kind of stuff.
Lint.
But my go-to is always this, and this is my Canic. This is my holster that it's in, and I'll talk about the holster in a second as well. Clear? Mm-hmm. Okay. This gun is clear. It's filthy because it came right out of the holster. We cleared them before we started the show, though. But this is my Canic, my Mede MC9. This has the EPS carry from Holosun on it, so closed emitter. It's the new closed emitter, low profile, little red dot there. And actually, this one's a green dot, but it's the same thing. And I was not a Canic person. Canic sent me this gun, full disclosure here, they sent me this gun to do some YouTube reviews and stuff on, and they said, if you like it, keep it. And I was like, all right, it's Canic, like whatever, I'll try it out. I have fallen in love with this gun to the point I carry it every day. I put my FNs away,
Says a lot.
and I loved my FNs, my 509s and all that. I loved those guns. I love those guns. I shouldn't say loved, because I absolutely love FN. But I switched to this Canic. This is for the package that this is, it's a $500 package pretty much. The MSRP is I think it's $549 or something like that. But it comes with the optic cut already. It actually comes with a holster, not this holster. I don't like the holster it came with. It's got a great trigger right out of the box. I had some issues with this trigger originally. It had like a double weird wall on it, but it wasn't, it fixed itself. I have probably 2,000-3,000 rounds through this gun at this point. And I carry this gun every single day. So every media event that I go to, that I travel, this gun sits in my luggage. It goes in there. The Holosun EPS carry, I've never been a huge fan of closed emitter pistol optics because they usually are big, bulky, weird looking. This EPS carry, I freaking love it. It's worked fantastic. It's been super durable. It's got the little solar panel on top, so it doesn't charge it, but it'll run off solar if you're out in the light. Striker indicator on this thing. It doesn't have a ton of safeties, which is what I like about this. It doesn't have thumb safeties, things like that. I don't personally like thumb safeties or too much safeties, honestly, on a carry gun, because in a stressful situation, you need to be able to pull this thing and use it. It does have a little chamber indicator on the top there that doesn't affect me at all. I don't mind that. But this gun has been fantastic. It really has. So I carry in a Kydex holster, and I can't remember the name of this company for the life of me right now. It's like Muddy Waters. I tried to do some work with them because I really liked this holster, but I have been unsuccessful getting a hold of them for media stuff. So, but I had a cool look to it. It matches the gun with the FDE. It's got the double spring clip on the back, which holds belts really, really well. And I have, do you have a wing on yours? Yeah, you got a wing,
but I don't like your little
have
adapter. I took it off because it kept catching my pants.
So the wing is something that I never understood until a couple years ago. And I'm just going to explain that because
it's nice that we kind of have two different.
It is.
Because there's different levels of.
Yeah, you can get different.
Smaller.
Yeah, you can get bigger, smaller, little cleats on the end of the wing. So what the wing does, and I used to take these off my holsters all the time because they were annoying to me. It's really specifically designed for appendix carry. So when you're carrying right here. And what that does is it actually, when your gun sits in the holster, it actually will, instead of the gun sitting straight in the holster, this actually pushes the back towards the body. So when you're appendix carrying, imagine my hand as my belly. Instead of the gun being straight out like that, this actually pushes it back like that, which makes it easier to conceal, is the point of it. I don't appendix carry. I've tried. I wish I could figure it out. It's not comfortable for me. I carry at like the 3 o'clock position, a little bit like, I don't know.
I'm an appendix carrier.
Almost a 4.
I don't use the bump out. Just, I don't know. I didn't like it because the problem I was running into was getting the gun off. Mm-hmm. when I was just wanting to take my
Just to
gun
take
off.
it, yeah.
It was like,
It gets
and then
stuck.
it'd be stuck on my pants or something, and I'd be sweating.
Yeah.
Motherfucking this thing, and I'm like, son of a bitch! So I took it off. I'm like, I'm not using that thing anymore because it was like,
That's funny.
sometimes you might have been in a rush to try to get your pants off. You're like, I got to get these things off.
Yeah.
Who knows? You've been in a rush. I've seen like cops with all the keepers and their belts on. They got a big issue when they got to get their guns off.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, so it does make it harder because it gets caught. It catches on your belt and your
that's
pants
why
and
I
stuff.
took that little piece off of here
Yep.
because it was catching my pants. So.
But the point of that thing, like, so I carry, like I said, like between like 3 and 4 o'clock, kind of. It's like right there. I got this spot. I swear my hip is dented now from that. Because if it's like an inch off, it doesn't feel right.
Right.
Like,
Right.
but that's where I always carry. It's just where it's comfortable for me, and I've trained that way. I can draw quickly from there, everything else. And a lot of people say, like, you don't need the claw for carrying there. But it honestly helps conceal as well on the side because it's almost wrapping the gun around
Yep.
my hip
I notice
area.
when I do carry on the side, it does push it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's kind of a cool thing to look at. I highly recommend at least trying it. If you order a new holster, order it with the claw, and you can always take it off.
Yep.
It costs like $5 extra or something to order the claw. And then like this
Definitely.
company sent, like I said, I think it had like 3 or 4 different.
Well, when I first got it, I called Andy up. I said, "What the
Yeah,
hell are these?"
that's right, I
stupid-"
forgot
I was
you-
like,
yeah.
"What are these things on this holster here? I've never had one like this before." And then it didn't come with instructions. It was probably made in China or something. But yeah, I was like, "All right." Well, then I figured out, yeah, that's actually pretty cool. So
I think this is Muddy River Muddy River Tactical is the company that makes this holster.
I don't know mine. I know
Is
that
I thought it was a We the People.
no. I don't. It would say that on there somewhere. I think it would, but it
Theirs I
doesn't.
think they brand.
I bought one, and it was the screws all came loose on it after about a week, and it was like, I guess you got, if you do buy these Loctite, get it to where you want it to sit, like, because this is adjustable, these are adjustable for how tight
everything
they are,
is.
even how tight it compresses on your weapon is
Your
it
actual
also
draw
controls
tension.
how your tension of when you draw it out. So, and once you do find that, what I did was I just went and I have Loctite out in my shop. I just put a little drop of Loctite on there and adjusted
hold
it.
everything.
And then now this one has been like this for 6 months.
So you brought up that point. I never even really thought about that. I've carried this gun for over a year now, and I've never adjusted this holster. I've never Loctited anything. Nothing has ever come loose.
Well,
I'm
there you
actually
go.
pretty impressed. Like, this
Well,
company
just
is pretty impressive.
Looking at the hardware on that, even just the screws look beefier than
Yeah.
this one. I mean, but this one, I don't know, it's
It works.
$10 and it
Yeah,
works
I mean, this.
great.
I think I paid like $75 for
I mean,
this
then you got the
holster.
little holsters that clip inside the, you know, I mean, you can go, like Marcus loves those little.
Oh, yeah, the little minimalist, yeah.
There's a little tiny little clip.
Yeah, they clip like in the trigger guard, and that's it. I'm not a big fan of those.
Yeah.
But again, it's personal preference.
Personal
So
preference,
like
whatever.
Chris's holster doesn't have the sweat guard, which is what this little extra piece here is.
Or lint guard because it lets a lot of lint in there.
Oh, there's a lot of lint in mine too, so nothing prevents that.
And that's the funny thing is like we're sitting there going, man, if I'd have known we were doing this, I would have probably gone through and polished this baby up.
Which
But
is one of the reasons I didn't tell him.
Which is why you didn't tell me,
I
but it's
wanted to
like-
show it raw. So you haven't talked about your gun though. What's
mine is so my gun is a SIG 365 macro. I love it. I shot this at Gunfest, and when I shot it, this is the one I hit out to 100 yards, and I was like, I want to buy that. I love the feel of it. It came with a cheap-ass sight that is broken, but the red dot still works, and I can hit whatever I need to hit.
Can you
because-
still see?
Oh, yeah.
It's still got like a little
Oh,
window
I can,
through there.
I can hit whatever I need
Yeah.
to hit with it. And it's funny because I asked you what, like a week
Yeah,
ago.
I think I got
I'm like,
one
I got to
for
go get one. I got to, and it's one of those things with my life and everything that's going on in it. I don't have time. I could take it off if I really wanted to, but I actually shot with it broken as it is, and it's been fine.
Yeah.
This is great for me. I love it. It is even just as it is. I haven't done a single thing to this gun. It's just the way it is from the factory, minus this sight. It's just a cheap sight that came with it.
Shield Arm SC or whatever, right?
Yeah, you can tell them. I have no idea. It's broken. So I dropped it on the floor, and I was like, "Oh, that's broken." So now I need to get a new one. But I'll tell you what. For me to carry this thing, I carry it cross carried, and I carry it literally like right here,
Yep.
and it's like a cross carry in my appendix there, and other side obviously, but I love it. For me, it's everything I need. I like the fact that I get 17 plus 1.
Yep. That's what's
And,
huge on those.
And I mean,
That's
and in
the same,
something that's this small of
So
a,
let me
of a package.
see your mag real quick. So that's crazy that he said that, because when you look at these two mags next to each other, they're not that much different. This is Chris's mag. This is my mag. This is a 12 plus 1 here. They do make a 15. I have a 15 as well. It sticks out a little further though, where like if Chris puts this in his gun, you guys will see that it's pretty much flush to the gun. Like it really isn't that bad. Same with mine. Sits nice and flush.
So you can see it.
It's not bad. I put the little pinky extension on. I don't have to have that. But these guns themselves, let me see your gun real quick. Chris's is clear. If I close his slide here, look at the size comparison of the guns. They're not much different. I mean,
Turn it the other way. You can see it.
his has got a little tiny bit more length on the grip, but you can see they're the same length barrel, everything else. He's got a little bit more on the grip there. So
Which
like,
I prefer because I got big Migos here. And
yeah, which like with the Canic, if I put the 15,
like if I look at yours compared to mine, like my pinky is on the gun
Yeah,
right now.
which
and I
mine
like
hangs-
that
mine
feeling.
hangs
And
off.
with
the pinky extension,
but
I
even
got
with
pinky
yours,
on.
let me see that with yours. Even then, it's like it's trying to slide off.
Yeah.
And
So like
I would need
the
an
15
extender.
round mag on that would be fine. The 15 round mag on this gives you about the same length probably as that with the 17 standard. So, but then again, it's personal preference. Like I like having more ammo. That's why I really liked my FN because my FN is 18 round mag in that thing. The 365 macro 17 round mag is amazing. I mean, that's fantastic. But when it comes to like deep concealability, like I wear just a t-shirt all the time, carrying at the 3-ish o'clock area, harder to conceal there than Chris with a longer grip in appendix.
That is a harder carry on my side.
Yeah.
This one is.
Yep. Because everybody worries so much about the barrel length, and they don't realize it's not the barrel length that's hard to conceal. I can conceal an 18-inch barrel down my pants, like down my leg.
Not gonna say anything like that one.
But when I try to conceal a super long, 22 round grip or something,
50-inch Glock or 50 round.
yeah, I mean now you're if you're sticking out this far, that's going to be a whole lot harder.
That's what you're seeing is. That's what you're seeing.
That's
and that's
what you
why,
see.
and like me, like when I get into my truck, I like to just slide mine over just a little bit,
Yep.
just to the side a little bit. But when I get out, it would be sticking forward.
Yep.
So I just
You
pull
gotta
it
adjust
forward
it.
and I slide it forward. So if you're watching me when I get out of my truck, I'm adjusting my gun every time I
Yeah.
get in and out of my car.
Just what happens when you carry. So yeah. So again, carry is 100% personal preference. Just depends on what you like, what you're comfortable with, and that's what it boils down to. So just don't let people like bully you into buying something. Like you have to go buy the Canic Meta MC9. You don't have to go buy it. I recommend checking it out if you're looking for a gun around $500 or less. These are honestly, you could probably get these for like $400. Like they're
Here's the thing: just go shoot
them.
a bunch of
Shoot
different guns, and honestly, you might pick up this Canic and hey, man, I love that gun. And then it's the same thing as any other manufacturer. It's the same looking, same size, but you find one that you prefer because it fits your hand perfectly.
that's it.
That's it.
Cool. All right, so that's what we carry. If you
bright
guys
light
have
on me.
any questions at all, as always, just message us. Shoot us a comment on the video here. It'll be on Spotify, YouTube, all that good stuff. Make sure you subscribe to all those channels. Check out freedomfatigues.com for all your American-made patriotic badassery apparel.
Badassery is a good word to use.
I like it.
I like it.
And as always, thanks for watching Pew Pew Nation podcast, and stay safe out there, everybody.
Peace out.